I'm here to talk about turbulence and love. And for me, it's pretty much been my life. Just a second. It's pretty much been my life for the last 5 years. So I'm going to kind of walk you along my journey with my mother and that turbulence that I've been living, what I've learned, and what I think is important. So this journey started back in 2020. I was coming to visit my mom. Things had wrapped up where I was living, so I thought, this is great. I'll come visit my mom. We'll spend 2-3 months, have a good time, and then I'll figure out where I want to live next because I move a lot. And so I got here in February. In March, we were all shut down for COVID. So here I am in Florida with my mom, not happy, not because of her, but because of Florida. I'm a mountain girl and this is a beach state. And it took me a while. I was a little frazzled. And so I'm in my own depression, craziness, and hanging out with my mom, trying to handle things. You know, I haven't been around her most of my life. We didn't talk that often. I might see her for a week for a vacation, and then I would be over it. So it was kind of a challenge for me to go from 1 week in a year to 24/7. And I was getting used to it and becoming less grumpy. And then COVID's easing up, and then it's the end of the year, and my mom can't walk 20 feet without being tired. Right after New Year's, boom, she's up in the middle of the night. She can't breathe. We're off to the emergency room. She's got heart issues. And so she had to have a valve replaced. So now I'm in caretaker mode. I'm at the hospital every day. I'm there with her recovery, making sure things are good. And she did well. It was a little challenging because I had no idea what to do, what is my role here. Because, you know, mom's mom, I'm not supposed to be the one handling all this stuff. But she got better and things are easing up. She got her energy back. And gosh, not a month later, I was thinking she took a few months to get better. And then in May or June, I can't remember, she just fell and broke her hip. We're back in the hospital, and then we're in rehab. She's luckily, hips are amazing. They have you walking really fast, but she had to get her strength built up because she was still not fully recovered from her heart. So I'm still taking care of her, and it's becoming a bit of a challenge. I haven't gotten through my stuff. And so I'm having why me moments. And, you know, why do I have to do this? And then I'm having resentment build up. And, you know, it's from old stuff. And what's coming up is so why do I have to take care of her when she didn't take care of me? I've got my little angry kid back here screaming at me. And I'm just going, okay, I can do this. I kept doing my stuff. I went into my way of coping, which is doing. Got to take care of things. I got to make sure things work and just focus on that. And it worked pretty well. She started feeling better and was able to walk around. She was walking at some point without a cane and everything. But I had to take her to the doctor and keep up with things because she was having trouble with her memory. I I didn't know much about dementia then, but and her primary care would just say, well, she has early onset dementia. Like I'm supposed to know what that is, and I'm supposed to know what to do for her. And I'm just thinking, great, I'm expecting her to do something. I don't realize that the new role, as well as caretaker, is advocate. I didn't figure that one out for a while. So I'm just hanging on here. And so, those things are happening. We're doing well. But she was losing ground. She turned her finances over to me and was forgetting a lot of stuff and asking. This is where I just go, Laura, you should know better. But she would ask me the same question over and over. And unfortunately, I have a history of, my ex husband was an alcoholic. They asked the same question over and over. I had little patience. So basically, this first part of the journey with my mom, I was not who I would like to be. All my buttons are being pushed, that I'm trying to do my best and keep trying to find outlets for her, because at one point, I'm riding in the car with her and she has become a sightseeing driver, which means the car's going this way and she's looking that way. And I'm going, how do I tell her that she needs to stop driving? And luckily, Spirit took care of that. Mom had gone out to get something, and on the way home, she's slowing down for a stoplight and she rear ends the guy in front of her, backs up, startled, and hits the person behind her. Then I've got to come, the cops are there, and we leave there, and she goes, I think I don't need to drive anymore. And I'm going, yes. I sold her car within a week. I thought, okay, I can do this. The right things are happening. And during this period, I realized I needed to get out and do things. So I'm involved with a center down here in Florida, and became a licensed minister and became a minister at the center. And then the senior minister took another post. And so I became the spiritual leader to try and keep the center going. So being me, I'm thinking I can do everything. I can take care of my mom and I can take care of the center, keep it running. And I did that for about a year. And luckily, mom was doing quite well. She was walking. She was able to go to church with her friends. So it worked well. But with her doctor's appointments and making sure that all of her affairs are in order, because she can't remember everything, I got really tired and I had to resign. And I'm thinking, this is great. Now I can rest. We have a vacation coming. Mom and I can enjoy this time before too much things are lost, because I wasn't sure about how the dementia worked. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because I resigned in August, and before September, she had a stroke. And so we're back in the hospital, we're back in rehab. And, I'm so frazzled. I'm thinking, is she going to be out of rehab so we can go on our vacation? Nothing was working in my mind. I was so much in I've got to do mode. I've got to take care of everything, that it was getting a little frazzled. But she came out of rehab fine, and we went on vacation, and I got sick. This is how it works. Once you slow down and your body finds out, oh, I don't have to run 24/7, it starts to take you out of the game. At least that's how it works with me. If I pushed it too far, I'll get sick. And So I dealt with that and came back. And then I realized it was like an almost aha moment because, I'm a minister, I've been a practitioner, I've been in science of mind for over 30 years. And when things got tough with my mom, did I go to my spiritual practices on a regular basis? No. That's why everything was just so heavy. I had forgotten. And I had forgotten that I'm part of the equation. I have to take care of myself. And I thought, okay, well, I have a trip that's been postponed for 3 years because of COVID and how everything's going in the world. I go, I've got to take this trip. And luckily, mom was in a pretty good space. And I made sure that there were people there to check on her because she was going to be at home by herself. So I'm still in do it mode and getting things in order. And I was counting on this trip to reconnect with my spiritual side because it was a spiritual trip to Peru. And it worked. I had so many spiritual experiences and so much time to really think and reconnect and pray and be present that I reclaimed myself. And when I got back, I felt great, except for my knee. My knee, after supported me for 40 years, had enough. And I'm going, I kind of need to replace my knee, but that'll have to wait. I got back from my trip and things are going great with mom. I'm moving my stuff in here because I've got to stay. My vacation became a new place to live. And mom stood there holding a box for me so I could get something out of it. I turned to set it down. I turned back and boom, she just fell over. And I didn't understand. I mean, I didn't realize that she was not as strong as I thought she was. The only thing I'm looking and going, she fell in the only place where I'm thinking where she wouldn't have been totally hurt because there was so much stuff. But she fell and she broke her hip, the other one. So now we're back this is 2024, we're back in the hospital, back in rehab. And right before that, coming back from Peru and having a sense of what I needed and starting to reconnect with spirit and take care of myself, I knew I needed a support group because I did not know enough about dementia. And I could tell things were progressing. And I'm so grateful for divine timing to have that support group because when mom went in for her hip, she went through rehab and, was able to walk and everything. But I only had her home for 3 weeks and she had another stroke. This journey into aging and stuff is quite, it's predictable and yet not. But when it starts, I haven't figured out how you stop it. But in this new one, going into rehab, and I got her home for 3 weeks, and she had a wonderful birthday. And the next day, she had a stroke, but I didn't recognize it because I was expecting her to be tired. So I didn't get her to the hospital till the next day. It just didn't register. So she's back in rehab and doing great. and the hurricanes come. So where she is in rehab, they have to evacuate. So they asked me to take her a couple days early because she was really done. And she wasn't doing anything wrong. I had her less than 24 hours. She slid off the bed and broke her ankle. So she's back in rehab. But when you break your ankle and you're not fully, healthy, it's a really hard road to come back from. And this compounded, and the dementia's getting worse. Every trip to the hospital brings out deeper dementia. She loses ground every time, and then having to be in a place she doesn't want to be in. And I found, thank God I took care of myself and did my trip. I had the energy to support her, but taking time to be in the stillness and turn it over to God. I mean, every new event, I had to remember, okay, I'm doing what I can, but it's not me. I need to have that support of the divine. And that's where the spiritual practice came in. And that's where prayer partners made such a difference. I do things on my own, and probably a lot of us do. Okay, I can do this, power through. There comes a point where you finally go, I need help. Like Jackie was saying that last week, that connection. I'm struggling, please help me. That was one of the hardest things to do, but it had to be done. I had the support group. They got me doing the stuff to get things prepared for mom so I could do, but they also gave me the emotional support so that I could be present with my mom because she was having that hard time, and not be so frustrated because she wouldn't do her exercises. I had to learn to let her be who she is and realize I can't make anyone change. I don't know if you all have done this, but if I know what's good for you, I'm going to try and make you change. I'm going to try and make you see it. And trust me, with your mom, it doesn't really work. There is no authority here. She's your mom. She's not. However, what I found, I'm thinking she's not listening, but as things progressed, I would hear her say things that I had told her about, things to do, things to say, taking care of her. And it's just, it's been this amazing journey. The first half, it was just all frustration and separation. And looking back, I can see that. The second half, this trip from July on has been so different. I knew that I needed to take care of myself. I knew I needed a new knee, but I kept putting it off because I've got to be there for my mom. I still had this idea that she's going to get better. She's going to come home. And I passed up the knee in July, and I passed up the knee in October. And then in October, I got the awareness to accept what is, to realize she's not coming home. So I need to take care of me so that I can feel good enough to have the extra energy to be there for her while she's in this place she hates. And I've asked for help. I put it out there to God, okay, I'm going to be out of commission for 2 weeks. I think I can handle this. I just got to have people that'll see mom. And I'm talking to my brother and mentioned that I'm going to have my knee replaced. And he lives in California. And he just said, okay, I'll be there. I'm retired. I can be there. And luckily, I have shifted from, no, you don't need to do that, to thank you. And he came and took care of me. God knew that I could not do this on my own. I didn't know that. I'm thinking, when we don't want to know something, we don't know it. I'm thinking, this is just a minor operation. They're going to fix my knee and it'll be okay. I'll be up and walking. It's friggin' major surgery. I had a friend tell me, Laura, they took your knee, they took your leg apart. I really didn't like that visual, but it got me to realize, okay, this is a big deal. I need to let someone take care of me. And I just, in going through this whole thing of telling you what happened and all that, I just want you to get the point that no matter what's going on, no matter what's turbulent and what things are going crazy with love and life, you have to take care of yourself to be able to deal with the turbulence, to be able to see the times of love, the times that are great, allowing God to be part of it. Until I got back in and let God be part of it, I was a wreck. And now I can walk in there, and yes, it bums me out that she has to be there, but I can make the hard decisions for what's best for her because I'm comfortable in knowing that I'm doing what's best for me. And I know that I am so fully supported by Spirit and the people in my life that have just amazed me with how they are there for me. I'm a lone wolf. I don't expect that. But every time God has given me all that I need. And if I don't sit still and let that happen, then I go wacko. My mom's been in and out of the emergency room. She's 4 times in 2 weeks this month. And I'm there with her every time. And with dementia, she's good for a while, and then she's grumpy and paranoid. But they discharge her because they just have to check her out. She hasn't heard anything. It's all from falls. But a gift that I got, because I follow her back to her rehab place just to make sure she gets there safe. And I came back there after a particular grumpy episode. And I got there and she's in her bed and she just opens her eyes and she smiles at me. And it's like looking into the face of an angel. And she just is so happy to see me. And I could tell that she felt safe and secure in her room. And I realized I'm doing something right. And this love that I see reflected back at me is a gift from all this turbulence. It's just part of the amazing joy of life in all of its messiness, those wonderful moments that we get to know that we're supported, to know that we're loved, to be able to share that love. So just any time that you are in that turbulence, know that you have all you need, that God is always there. All you have to do is wake up and be there. Let God in and let yourself take care of yourself and love yourself and be in the messiness to that place of love. So I know I'm going long, but I just want to share this one quote in closing. It's from Jennifer Edwards. She's an author and actress. She says, the beauty of life is, while we cannot undo what is done, we can see it. understand it, learn from it, and change so that every new moment is spent not in regret and guilt and fear or anger, but in wisdom and understanding and love. We go through this so that we can understand and be in love. And just know you always have everything you need.